Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, tape live here at the Twitch and on the YouTube. youtube.com/Steve and Larson and twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. So whichever platform you enjoy, you can check us out there. And of course, we're whatever audio podcast platform you enjoy. If you're listening to this in the audio realm, do us a favor. Do us a favor. Leave us a rating, review, or a comment. Goes a long way. If you're watching us on the YouTube, do us a solid and give us a thumbs up. We got this brand new ticker down here on the YouTube. Look at all the information here. You're looking at us talking. You're going down here. You're going back up here. Oh,
down
my
where, Steve?
Goodness. Go down there. Which reminds me, we've got some breaking news about Dragon Lee heading to E. We're going to talk about that.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything that seemingly happened in like a 5-minute span of time right now.
Yeah, a lot happened. And we're going to talk about it all today on the show. Of course, we're also going to talk about AEW's New Year's Bash. Smash. Sorry. I need to change that on our ticker. Look at our awesome ticker down here. Ticker. Anyways, yeah, so New Year's Bash. We're also going to smash. We're going to talk about Dax Harwood talking a lot about CM Punk, which probably means sad last days of the friendship between Dax Harwood and CM Punk. Do you think he reached out to Punk first and was like, hey, you mind if I talk about you a lot?
Because he dedicated like his whole first podcast to the subject of Phil Brooks.
You mind if I talk about you a whole lot today?
So
he's like, no, I don't like when people talk about me. I got this new podcast, though. You got this brand new podcast. Can I talk about you?
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows, man.
I don't know.
Anyways, as I update the
all right, do you want me to get started with all this? I'll get started with all
So we're going to talk about we're going to talk about what is it? Dax Harwood talking about CM Punk. What did he say? He said a lot.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Yeah, he did say a lot. He said a lot. This is only a little bit of what he said. He has a new podcast. I think it's called FTR.
Okay, hold on. Back up. Sorry. I don't mean to be this guy, but let me interrupt you immediately. They've always had a problem with names, right? First, they come out with the name FTR, and everybody's like, what does it stand for? And they're like, use your imagination or whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody, still to this day, nobody knows what it means, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it means.
Then he starts a podcast, and it's called FTR with Dax Harwood. Why isn't the other guy there? They're both FTR.
Maybe Cash isn't interested in the podcast business. I don't know.
Conversely, wouldn't that be if like I started like a tag team, or I like a trios team called Going in Raw with Steve and two other guys that aren't Larson, and people are like, why is Larson not there?
Yeah, I guess so.
So confusing. Anyways,
he's got a podcast. I believe it was the first episode. The subject of the first episode was Phil Brooks, CM Punk.
Oh wow.
And during this episode, Dax mentioned that CM Punk didn't want to win the AEW championship. These transcripts come to you from WrestlingNews.co. Quote, that's what Dax had to say about Punk. It was his idea to wrestle that much. He wasn't supposed to. He had a limited number of matches, but he just became enthralled in wrestling again, and he loved it so much. To be honest, he told me when they were going to put the belt on him, he didn't want the belt. He said, I just want to have fun. He understood that Tony putting the belt on him would put AEW in a new and better light, so he took it, but grudgingly a little bit, but he took it. He took the belt.
Do you believe that? You believe that?
I don't know, but if this is correct, then Tony Khan should have listened to CM Punk, because CM Punk would have gotten eyeballs on your company, would have drew huge ratings, so on and so forth, without being champion.
It's kind of a big elephant in the room, though, isn't it? I mean, unless he's going to take like one big loss to Hangman Page and then continue about his day, which I guess they could have done.
I mean, you could have told
that would have made Hangman a huge freaking star, like a bigger star.
Yeah, I mean, that would have done wonders for Hangman, or you just could have not gotten Punk involved in the title picture for a while. He has his MJF feud. Maybe he says, all right, I want to set my sights on the title. He gets sidetracked with something else. You know, he's CM Punk. I'm guessing there's a lot of people in kayfabe who want to go after Punk to prove that they're the best. Not Phil. They're the best.
Yeah.
He could be wrapped up in stories with other people outside of the title picture, potentially for years.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. So, well, no, he couldn't because he got injured, hella. But I see your point. Storyline-wise, you're absolutely right. But here's the thing, though. I do think that there was quite a bit of press that AEW enjoyed when he won the AEW World title when CM Punk did. And I think that's the kind of stuff that, you can't necessarily buy. So I understand why Tony Khan did that. I think it was probably a smart move. But
well, in hindsight, maybe not, but at the time.
I don't know. Dude, I don't know. I don't know if you can anticipate a guy eviscerating your company right next to you at the post-show media scrum.
I mean, heck, much less try to stage dive his first before his first match after winning the title and busting his foot
and exploding his foot.
But I'm not saying you never put Punk in a title picture, but you could take your time with the story of essentially CM Punk relearning how to wrestle, because that's what it was.
DM Lipkin, hold on a second, is this true? Lipkin says Punk was doing the belt hands literally after his first match.
Probably.
Oh man, if that's true, I don't remember that, but if that's true and it wouldn't shock me at all, then no, sorry Dax. And by the way, Dax it's totally going to be like, why is my phone number blocked by Phil? Man, if he didn't, I'm telling you, there's a history. What I'm saying is there's a history of Punk. Like even remember in long before he signed with AEW, the Young Bucks kept on getting asked about Punk. And I think one of them said, yeah, we're in contact with the guy, and we keep tabs on him. And then he was like, oh, yeah, they say they're in contact with me. And he was being shitty about it.
Yeah.
And then there's some sort of problems between him and Kofi Kingston that Kofi doesn't want to talk about. And they used to be close friends. They used to travel together. And then Hornswoggle, same thing happened to him.
Yeah.
It's like, man, if you talk about Punk, good,
Yeah. Okay. So several people are saying that he did do the discount double check. He did the
discount double check? Man. Let's talk about this, man, because Dax has a little bit of insight into Brawl Out from his perspective and from a FaceTiming CM Punk.
Yes.
And these transcripts come to you from our friends over at Fightful. He said, after our match was over, meaning his FTRs, he says, I shower up. We had a couple of drinks with the guys real quick, grab my girls, and head back to the hotel. I was laying in bed, and I got a text from one of the wrestlers that said, is this shit true? I had no idea what he was talking about. Right after that, I got a call from my buddy CM Punk, my best friend. Call not blocked yet. And he told me what happened. I said, you're lying to me, dude. There's no way that happened. He was covered in blood from the match. He FaceTimed me. It was that night. He said, I want to let you know you're going to hear some things. I want you to hear it from me. This is what happened. I said, dude, are you okay? Do you need anything? I'll come right now to help you out, get you cleaned. No, everything's fine. It's died down. We're good. He said, that's when I first heard about it. Obviously, I wasn't there. Who I perceive to be God is the only person who really knows the truth. Everyone is going to have their own version in their head. We've all done it before. We've made what we perceive to be the truth. What I have heard that is reported, there are elements of truth in it, but then there are also some things that raise a red flag to me. It seems like we're only getting a portion of the story or what this journalist wants to put out, whether he has a bias or grudge against one of the parties. That's just how I felt. I also knew that I didn't know the whole story. I also felt that the stories that I heard from a few people, I don't feel like they would blatantly lie to me. I do think there are bits of truth, but I also believe that some fans have read too much into it, and I think they should let what happened happen and it die down. When it's all said and done, I can't tell you that I know 100% of the truth, and I can't tell you that the journalist is reporting 100% of the truth. I know what I perceive to be the truth, and from the things I've read and heard, there is partial truth and partial things that are a bit exaggerated. Elsewhere, I believe in this same episode, he says, I really wish those four guys, Punk and the Elite, hash things out and cooler heads prevail. Notably, he did not mention the guy who Punk referred to as an empty-headed dumb fuck. I'm sure Hangman Page should probably.
He did talk
did he? What did he say about that? I didn't see that in the quote.
He pretty much just said that all his interactions with Hangman, he's never had any issue with them.
Yeah, because Hangman's great.
Yeah, he seemed like the coolest dude.
That's my perceived truth, is that he's awesome.
Yeah, he is. He does seem like the cool dude.
So, man, Dax was going hard on what is real, what is fake.
Wow, I didn't know his show would be so existential.
Brawl Out, fact or fiction.
I know.
Did a guy bite Kenny Omega? Fact or fiction? We made it up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he FaceTimed with CM Punk afterwards, and CM Punk gave him his side of the story. I mean, it seemed like in all of these quotes from the show, Dax is being very diplomatic about virtually everything.
Of course, absolutely.
Especially this whole bit about truth versus bias and stuff. He's like, he never is in any way outright accusatory of anybody spreading disinformation or spreading or lying about any aspect of the story. But at the same time, he's saying, I don't know 100% of the truth myself.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah. I mean, nobody does. I mean, that's the whole thing, It's like what he perceives to be God, I guess like a security camera or something like that would know the actual truth because it's documented digitally and you can look at it.
Yeah.
Or I guess, the man upstairs, the eye in the sky, Alan Parsons Project,
Parsons Project, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Do you know that he was like an engineer at Abbey Road for a long time?
I did know that, actually. I did a little bit of research on Alan Parsons for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not surprising. I guess. No. I don't know. I mean,
but I guess he was like, even after the Alan Parsons Project, he still worked at Abbey Road.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Well, you think with a song like Eye in the Sky, you'd be a multimillionaire. You wouldn't have to do engineering work at a music studio.
He probably didn't have to. He probably loved doing it, man. All those great artists coming through. I don't know who came through after the Beatles, but I'm sure probably a bunch of cool ones.
Speaking of another movie I watched the Abbey Road studio documentary on Disney Plus.
Oh, was that good?
It's all right. It's interesting.
Right on. That's cool. I might have to check that out, man. You were just plunked down in front of your old TV, huh?
Yeah, I was watching a lot of movies.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
We got some more FTR news here.
Yeah.
They were at the AAA show tonight, and they lost the tag titles to Dralistico and Dragon Lee. And then it was revealed that Dragon Lee had signed with WWE. And then ESPN's Mark Ramondi reports that Dragon Lee will be starting in January in NXT.
Okay, but hold on a second.
What?
Didn't FTR lose their tag titles to Dralistico and Dragon Lee?
Yes.
So he's now the AAA tag champion.
Dragon Lee is, yes.
And he's going to head to WWE in 3 days.
Uh-huh.
Just making sure I got that right.
Yeah.
AAA is crazy. It's awesome.
I'm trying to wrap my head around it too, man.
Is there another Lee? Wait, are they legit brothers or is Roosh? Yeah. And Roosh is the third one, right?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
That's easy. You just put Dragon Lee's over on Roosh. You could do that. It's AAA. What do they care? Yeah, man.
It's pretty crazy. So, I don't know, in 5 months' time, it could be entirely possible that the Revival let's make an appearance in NXT. Oh, hey, Dragon Lee, you still got the AAA tag title?
Say yeah. I know, right? Yeah, that's totally going to happen, by the way. Let's talk about the Dragon Lee news here for a second, because you and I have talked about the possibility that now, with Triple H at the head of creative in WWE, what the process will look like, what the pool is going to look like of talent that they bring in. Would it be primarily, as it had been when Vince started 2.0, started scrubbing the Triple H philosophies off the deck, that it would be primarily next in line college athlete types, former, pro sports people? Or would he start reaching out to established names, across the independents and promotions worldwide, like AAA. Seemingly, we have, a potential evidence that he might be doing that with Dragon Lee. What a great signing for WWE.
Oh, yeah. Dragon Lee is a spectacular wrestler.
He's fantastic. Yeah.
Absolutely spectacular. I think it was after the reports came out that the SummerSlam tryouts didn't go all that well. I think they did sign some people out of that particular tryout.
But we had heard. Didn't Meltzer literally use the word disaster or something?
Something like that. And then that was shortly after Triple H assumed control of creative. And his philosophy is pretty obvious that he wants to sign established independent international names to bring to NXT to kind of carry the brand of NXT while developing, former collegiate athletes, professional athletes to professional wrestle as well.
Yeah.
it seemed like when 2.0 got started, the emphasis was 90% in-house development versus 10% bringing in people who had, some measure of established brand outside of WB.
Yeah.
I would expect that percentage to maybe go to like 60-40 in favor of independent talent.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think you're probably right, but those guys, man. Like, I don't know if they're gonna have the patience for these college athletes and pro and
I'll tell you what, it's easier
gonna be
to have
like
the patience
80-20 or 90-10.
It's easier to have the patience for the college athletes when you don't have to worry about filling 2 hours of television strictly with people learning how to wrestle.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You can have a lot more patience letting them develop in-house.
Yeah, which is why I think it's going to be like
house show circuit.
Which is why I think it's going to be like 80-20. Like, man, if they can, especially with like global localization and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what was this? Somebody here said justifiable treason. This is actually kind of a good question here, and there's no way to answer it really. He says, have we considered the possibility that maybe FTR have had some sort of falling out? That's why the podcast is only Dax, and he says, and they were absent. Absent. What does that mean? They were absent. I don't know what that means.
Maybe I don't know. Dynamite tonight.
Were they supposed to? They weren't supposed to be on Dynamite tonight.
No, because they were on the AAA show tonight. It couldn't be.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything about any sort of falling out between the two of them.
Like there hasn't been. Yeah, there hasn't been any reporting.
There hasn't been anything. Yeah. Every indication is that they see themselves going forward in their career as a unit.
FTR the podcast is Dax's Wrestle Juice.
He's
like, hey man, it's got an itch I want to scratch. I want to go do this. And then he's like, well, can you not call it FTR? No, I want to call it. It's our name, dude.
That's what everybody knows us as.
No, it's our name. It's like if I wanted to, I'm doing my solo going in Raw channel. What? No, man, that's us.
What? No, that's us.
Yeah, no, it's me
brand.
too.
Maybe here's the thing. Maybe Cash wasn't interested in doing the podcast. Maybe he's got another endeavor that he is interested in, and he's going to call that FTR as well.
All right.
Maybe
FTR
he's just not into the podcast thing.
FTR, the Broadway musical.
Maybe that's it.
That'd be fucking sick. That'd be pretty awesome, to be honest. If somebody needs to do a wrestling base.
Yeah, we're getting called up from NXT.
Oh, no. Vince is like comedy acts.
He's having us shave each other's back.
Now he wants clocks on. It's time to go.
It's time to be
FTR on ice. Elevation says FTR on ice.
What was that thing in the 80s called? Up with People?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh, man. That
my goodness. Anyways, we did have a Dynamite tonight. We could talk a couple highlights before we get to the breakdown of the show.
Yeah.
Main event, TNT title bout between Samoa Joe and Wardlow. Early in the show, Samoa Joe went up to Wardlow, hit him in his leg with a lead pipe.
Nancy Kerrigan style. What was the lady that hit Nancy Kerrigan? It was a dude, Jeff Galooly or something.
Yeah.
Why do I know that?
Yeah. Tanya Harding. Jeff Galooly.
Tanya Harding's dude, yeah.
Yeah. And softened up his knee a bit, helped them retain the TNT championship in the main event. I think it's a good move having Wardlow lose.
Yep.
I think if he had won with a busted up knee, it would have been a little silly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now he has to kind of rebuild. Wardlow does. Mm-hmm. He lost his hair tonight too.
So Joe, as a trophy, took Wardlow's man bun. They took his little tiny ponytail.
Completely humiliated Wardlow at the end of the show.
And it was kind of awesome. Let me ask you something, booking wise, is that a smart move? It makes Joe look really cool.
It does make Joe look really cool, but there was several points in the match, especially I believe after Wardlow hit the first powerbomb.
Yeah.
That the crowd was firmly behind Wardlow.
Yeah, no, they were. And
I think the idea is they really want to stack the odds against Wardlow, so when he eventually overcomes said odds, the crowd will be into it. They're trying to add dimension to his character, which I appreciate, because far too often he's been booked as kind of like a one-dimensional destruction machine.
Yeah, right.
And he's got to face some adversity for you to really care about whether he wins or loses, because for the most part, he just wins.
Dude, I don't disagree with any of that. I'm just saying Joe looked awesome tonight cutting off his hair.
He does, but you want Joe to look awesome. You want to look sinister and mean and menacing, because when Wardlow eventually beats him, it's going to be all the more satisfying.
No, people are going to be really sad.
But for Wardlow fans, I know.
I don't know, man. That crowd was like, wow, that was kind of cool, Joe. No, I know what you mean. You want him to be like a bad dude and mean, but you got to ease up on the doing really cool shit because you're risking people.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think whatever Joe does, 90% of the time, it's going to come off as cool because that's just
point.
Joe.
That's a really good point. Yeah. Anything he does is cool. He could sit there, whip out a banana and start eating it and be like, Joe, banana's gonna kill you.
No, you can't. Joe's gonna kill you. The banana.
To the banana.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in a pickle right now my cat wants out, but then we got to pay some bills. So give me 1 second.
I'll do some more highlights. You do that, and then we'll come back. Next highlight I got here, Elite. They took match 6 in this best of 7 series. It's now tied 3-3. Absolutely bonkers. Trios, falls count anywhere match. Absolutely spectacular. So much fun stuff. If you haven't watched it yet, go out of your way to watch this Elite versus Death Triangle match that went down tonight. It was fantastic.
Super terrific. Absolutely. All right.
We'll get this one thing in real quick.
Wow.
We had another acclaimed music video.
Oh my God.
Max Caster absolutely destroyed Jeff Jarrett. So much so that commentary, Taz described the music video as a bit snug.
Dude, there were some potatoes. I can't wait to get to some of the quotes in this rap. When he said scheming like global force gold. Oh my God, I lost my shit.
Yeah, huge pop.
That was fantastic. Anyways, let's go ahead and pay some bills here. All right, Larson, go ahead and have at it.
Let's take a quick break here, friendos. This episode of Going in Raw is brought to you by BetterHelp. You know, Steve?
Yeah.
Basically, every single Christmas gift I got from my kids this year came with a user manual and got me to thinking about how there have been times where I wished that there was a user manual for life. Mm-hmm. I know I've talked about it a lot here on the show, but in my 20s, I was feeling pretty overwhelmed by life's challenges. I started dealing with severe anxiety, and I got to the point where I made the decision that I needed to go to therapy.
Well, yeah, because therapists are trained to assist you in processing challenging emotions and helping you to learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing we have to a user manual of the complex machine called you, Larson.
Me, or everyone.
You, like the royal you, everybody.
Everybody, everyone, yes. So, yeah, that's right. And while it took me quite a while to find a therapist I felt comfortable talking to, once I did, I was able to learn the tools I needed to better cope with my anxiety. And as the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people to professionally licensed, vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable.
Yeah, you just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist, and if things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler.
No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/raw. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
All right, let's go ahead and dive into it. It kicked off with Bryan Danielson versus Ethan Page, all ego. MJF showed up in like one of the luxury boxes up there, and he had a wrestler named Daddy Doom with him, the tattooed up wrestler lady, drinking some champagne with him. And he had said something like, hey, I found the only attractive person in Denver. And then, clowning Danielson, and Page didn't like that very much. Like in terms of, he was mad that he was like trying to get involved in the match and all that kind of stuff.
Stealing the spotlight from him.
Stealing that literal spotlight, exactly.
Yeah. This was a really, I got to say this about AEW tonight. All the matches, with the exception of the hook squash match, not that was bad, it was just a squash match. All the matches were really good to exceptional.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. No, tonight was a really good night for wrestling.
The quality of wrestling was top notch, and this one was fantastic. The story going into this was that Ethan Page was looking to, as he put it, turn Bryan Danielson into a vegetable. So he took to working over Bryan Danielson's head quite often, especially in the middle portion of the bout. At one point, he's looking for some Danielson stomps. Danielson reverses that, looks for the stomps, his eponymous stomps. Danielson stomps. Instead, Page kicks Bryan in the head. He's looking for a power slam. Danielson reverses that into a DDT, hits a head kick, gets a 2. So Bryan's looking for the label lock, gets it on. Page gets to the bottom rope. So Danielson gets up, and he's very wobbly on his feet because he's taking a lot of shots to the head. He goes to the top rope. Page gets up, sweeps his feet out. He's looking for a super power slam. Brian blocks, hits a bunch of elbows. Page catches one of them, hits the super power slam. Page also hit one of those. It's kind of like the devil inside thing, where it's like a ripcord thing, but instead of the Saito suplex, the power slam. It's a really cool move.
Yeah, it's a cool move.
So Page hit one of those on the floor earlier. So he hits the power slam off the top rope. Brian kicks out. So Page is looking for Ego's edge. Brian escapes that, hits a knee plus, hits a bunch of stomps, and just it's the new submission that Bryan Danielson wins with.
Yep.
Page taps.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Really good match.
Yeah, really good match. After that, we had a Wardlow Samoa Joe video package. Joe says he teamed with Wardlow because he's a hunter. He says, I came to AEW to get all the titles, including Wardlow's. He says, I was taking notes while we teamed up. And then we had a Wardlow interview. He had this is weird. He was wearing this giant coat. It would look like he was a small guy he was standing on somebody else's shoulders. He says it
was what, trench coat Wardlow?
Yeah, I think it was Trenchcoat Wardlow. So Renee Paquette says, what do you think of Samoa Joe's powerful words? And he's like, words. There's been too many words. Tonight's about powerful action. And Joe just fucking runs him over and blasts him in the leg with a lead pipe. He's like, there's some actions for it. You want actions? There's action. I'm like, he's got a good point, Wardlow. He just showed you a lot of action right there. You can't complain now, can you?
Nope.
Oh, that was amazing.
That was fantastic. Joe's awesome. Then we're in the trainer's room. Hangman's getting checked by the trainer. Silver, Reynolds, and Uno are there with him. Renee walks in for an interview. And then Hangman's really testy with Renee. He's like, I'm sure you're here for an update, aren't you? And he's like, all right, I'm sorry. That was rude.
Yeah. Well, it's his wife. It's
Mox's wife.
Yeah, it's Mox's wife.
Yeah.
Not Hangman's wife. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But this is Mox's wife. And of course he's going to get tested. I'd be like, what are you doing here? Get out of here.
So he says, all right, I don't have an update. I'm wrestling 2 months. It's getting frustrating. And then Renee says, well, I'm sure he'd be interested in the next match because Moxley's in it. So Page stands up and he's ready to throw it down right there. He wants to fight Mox, and Dark Order have to hold it back. And Silver says, oh, she didn't say Mox. She said Foxy.
Yeah, he's trying to, because Moxley is a trigger word for Hangman.
Yeah. So then the trainer says to Page, after he's been kind of calmed down a bit, you've been following concussion protocol. You could be cleared in 2 weeks. And Page says, like for the LA, the Kia Forum show.
Yeah.
And trainer goes, yeah, unless you keep getting riled up and keep going after Moxley, then something could happen that could keep you out for longer.
He's like, that thing is going to happen soon. But I think they're probably going to do that match in LA because that's a big show. That's a big show.
That's a huge match, and Hangman should get that win.
Next week, we get the brand new AEW.
I know. It looks like there's a bunch of lasers in it.
It's all lasers and stuff.
It's very Tron.
Yeah. Everybody shows up on light cycles.
Wouldn't it be cool if they de-aged everybody like they did with Jeff Bridges in that movie?
It'd be awesome because it was so bad. Yeah,
it was awful.
Yeah, like a really smooth, weird, plasticky Chris Jericho whose lips don't move right. After that, we had John Maxley and Claudio Castagnoli versus Top Flight. This was cool. I like when Claudio was doing the swing on, I forget who, Darius or whoever.
Oh, it was Darius, and then Dante was jumping over his brother. Yeah.
I was like, is he mocking his brother?
He was trying to time it right so he could roll him up.
He was trying to get him there. Yeah, he was trying to get to him. But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of funny.
It was great. This was a really fun match. A match here where the outcome really wasn't in doubt because Blackpool Combat Club was going to win this match.
Yeah, of course.
Top Flight put in a hell of a performance. Finish Claudio looking for a pop-up uppercut. Darius reverses that into a backslide. Gets a 2 there. Claudio hits him with the neutralizer. Darius kicks out. And so Claudio is so shocked by that he gives the ref a bunch of crap. Essentially, hey, that was 3. So Claudio clobbers Darius with an elbow. Dante tries to break it up with a boot. Claudio starts clobbering with elbows. 12-6 elbows. So Dante tries to break it up with the boot. Claudio no-sells that. Mox then drops Dante with a lariat. And so Claudio's just hammering Darius with all these elbows till eventually Darius just collapses on the mat. So we're down on the floor. Mox hits Dante with a paradigm shift. And then Claudio keeps trying to pick up Darius. And Darius finally gets enough strength to get on his feet a bit, slap Claudio. And that just angered Claudio because he absolutely floored Darius with an uppercut
to
get the win.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Blackpool Combat Club with the win. Evidently, they're still being called that because Wheeler Yuta said they were later on.
Yeah, that's still the thing.
Yeah, still a thing. After that, Renee ran over to interview best friends, Kip and Penelope. Kip, I don't know. I don't care about Kip Sapien at all. I feel bad because, like, man, he was out for a long time and did that bag thing that didn't really pay off or anything. Like, and he's, he just had silver hair. So now he's like trying to manipulate Orange Cassidy. He was like, it was only last week where I eliminated you again. It's about time for the final act when I appeal the title from Orange. Is he like supposed to be a thespian? It's time for the final act.
Well, I think it's like he's talking poetically like some sort of supervillain or something. You know?
Okay,
Because he prefaced this with a bunch of other stuff that I didn't write down. Like, where is this going?
Twiddling a mustache and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, I'm going to tell you my plan now, Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyways.
And there's no way you can stop me.
You can't stop me. So Trent says, well, hey, man, I eliminated you right after you eliminated Orange. So, like, should I get a title shot? And Orange's like, yeah, that's a good idea. He gets a title shot before you do. And Kip says, that'll be interesting. Yes, I wish to see this. And then he leaves. And Orange's like, yeah, our match is going to be on Rampage.
Yeah. Then we got Hook versus Balaam Lynx. What a great name.
That is a good name. It's not quite, what was that fella's name last week?
Exodus Prime.
Oh, my God, that's a great name.
Fantastic.
Exodus Prime.
What a great name. So Hook wins this pretty quickly. Wins with Red Rum. So Stokely Hathaway walks to the ramp. Yeah. He says, do you want to know what's crazy? Every week somebody, your father, wants to tell me how much of a badass you are. But you're like the Southwest Airlines of AEW.
Oof.
So then Big Bill, Lee Moriarty get on the apron. Jungle Boy runs down to even the odds. He and Lee start brawling on the ramp. Big Bill steps up to Hook. So you get a great visual of Big Bill, awesome. Who's 7 feet tall.
You can't teach that.
Thank you. And Hook, who's maybe 5'10".
Which is average.
Yeah. And so they really milk that stare down. They get a shot of Jungle Boy seeing what's going on in the ring. They really did a great job selling that moment. And so Big Bill grabs Hook by the throat. Hook escapes that, looking for a T-bone suplex, and he gets Big Bill off his feet.
When he hits that crowd's going to go crazy.
Got that right. But didn't happen tonight. Big Bill escapes. He's looking for a choke slam. Jungle Boy hits the ring with a 2x4, blasts Big Bill with it, and then Jungle Boy takes a swing at Big Bill's head. Big Bill ducks, gets out of the ring.
Yeah, I like this because this time Jungle Boy got to make the save here on for Hook. Yep. This is a really well executed segment here. I thought this was good. And we forgot to mention earlier when Stokely came out with Ethan Page, he had a hat on.
Yes.
for the glare. After that, we had a Chris Jericho video package and promo. He's talking, of course, about Ricky Starks. They have a big match next week. He says, Starks, you turned down the opportunity of a lifetime when you decided to join the JAS. Instead, you mocked us. You called us jobbers. He says, I call you foolish, small-minded, and a flash in the pan. Ricky, you have the arrogance of a superstar, but you don't have all the tools. But I do. On January 4th, I'm going to school you, and you won't know what hit you. I am the Ocho, the Wizard, and I always win. And if you doubt that, check on Action Andrade. Andrade, go back to the Indies and stay out of my face. Starks in Seattle, you're going to pay the price. I'm going to put an end to the Starks experiment.
Then we get an interview. Renee interviews Mogul affiliates, Swerve, Parker Boudreaux, and
Mystery Man. He's got a name. I forget what it is.
Yeah, I forgot what it was.
It hasn't been named on AEW
That's
television.
True, but Fightful Select revealed his identity last week. So Swerve says
not Tom McDonald.
So Renee's asking about what Swerve did last week to Keith Lee, and Swerve goes, "Oh, that was beautiful work I did. I just got rid of somebody who didn't believe in the same vision I had. Keith Lee had to go, and I replaced him with two people who truly believe in my leadership." Yes.
Can I now play the role of Wheeler Yuta?
Yes, please.
So he steps in awkwardly and says, when I saw what you did at Final Battle, I thought I couldn't think less of you until I saw what you did last week. And it wasn't about the violence. Blackpool Combat Club loves violence. It's using this band of tattooed mystery men to get your point across. If you want to get violent, how about you meet me on Rampage? Now
they try to make a joke at the end.
Yeah, he said, excuse me, I'm going to walk out. God, this dude should not be talking, Larson. Just wrestle. He's a good wrestler.
He is a good wrestler.
Man, he sounds so whiny, though. He needs to do this.
Well,
he needs to deepen his voice.
Yeah, I think his pro wrestling voice is just maybe when he increases the volume of his speech, pitch increases as well.
It's when he's talking to a manager at Kmart. That's what he sounds like.
Yeah.
Hey, I put this on order. Why don't you have one? Sorry, sir. There was a miscommunication. I want to talk to your manager.
I am the manager.
You're in the Blackpool Combat Club.
We don't take getting orders wrong kindly.
Yeah,
he starts stretching them.
Elbows.
Yeah, 12 to 6 elbows.
He needs to go down on the lower register. Hey, Swerve. I don't like you.
Maybe when he does the practice in the mirror like Darby Allin did, and when he does that, it's like, it doesn't sound believable enough.
Yeah. Maybe he needs to practice in the mirror more. Maybe he just doesn't do that.
Maybe.
I think he needs to do that. I don't know, man.
That could be. So then we had trios best of 7 bout, Death Triangle versus the Elite. This match started with a brawl.
Oh my gosh.
Backstage.
Yeah, man. Oh boy. This was good stuff.
Kenny Omega wearing a Kota Ibushi shirt.
Yeah.
This was fantastic.
This was crazy. This was nuts, man. And I love that finish was fantastic.
It really was. Again, I can just run off a list of moves, but it'd be a list of moves. There's a lot of great stuff.
Phoenix coming off the entrance tunnel, one of the entrance tunnels.
And then Kenny blasting with the V-trigger out of the heel tunnel right after he hits that tornado.
Kenny hit somebody with a V-trigger when they had a garbage can on their head.
That was Pac.
Yeah.
Matt doing the Northern Light suplex spot down the ramp.
We had Pac doing a moonsault off of like a crate of something
some
backstage.
Risers, yeah.
Yeah, that was sick.
It was fantastic. There's so much good stuff here. So, I'll just start here. So Pac hits Matt with a pump kick, goes to the top rope, misses a black arrow. Nick throws a chair at him. Then he gets the chair and throws it at Penta. So then the Young Bucks hit Penta with the BTE trigger. Pac breaks that up. Pac must have broken up like 5 or 6 pins in this bout.
Yeah.
He was breaking up all sorts of stuff. So then the Young Bucks hit a Meltzer driver on, or looking for a Meltzer driver on Pac. He escapes. That leads to Matt accidentally super kicking Nick off the apron. Pac rolls up Matt. Matt kicks out. Pac puts on the brutalizer immediately. So Matt's in the brutalizer for a little bit, and then we cut to like by the crowd, and Kenny is getting Phoenix up in position for a one-winged angel, and then so it's like whatever wall they have that separates the seats of the lower bowl from the floor. Kenny's standing on that, and he hits a one-winged angel off that through a table and covers Phoenix. Because this falls count anywhere. The ref counts the pinfall, and right after that, Matt's in the ring tapping.
Yeah.
So the bell rings. They say the Elite won, and Pac is pissed.
Oh yeah, he's furious. Yeah.
No hammers in this match though.
No hammers in this one, but everything else. Yeah. Then we had the Acclaimed in a music video responding to and absolutely eviscerating Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Satin.
Mostly Jeff Jarrett.
Mainly Jeff Jarrett. What was the chorus of this song again?
It was about Jeff Jarrett being a carny.
That's right. Some of the lines. I'm on the squared circle right now. In regards to Jay Lethal, Ring of Honor's top guy in their bad years. It's like Stockholm syndrome from being in TNA too long. Oh man, it was
Caster saying. Referencing Global Force Gold.
Yeah, scheming like it's Global Force Good. Go ahead and do the Kurt Angle line.
It says Jarrett steals money like it's Kurt Angle's wife.
Oh, that's so good. Oh yeah, not drawing a dime was part of the chorus.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious, this is good. I'm going to see if they have the entire transcript. I really hope somebody put the entire transcript. I kind of doubt
again, it was something else. So much so that, as I mentioned earlier, Taz described it as pretty snug.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah,
I don't see any transcripts here. Sometimes
commentary was laughing quite a bit about it. So
yeah, that was good stuff.
It was pretty spectacular.
Global Force Gold.
Oh,
man, he absolutely killed him, dude.
yeah, he did. After that, we had Anna Jay and Ty Conti versus Willow Nightingale and Ruby Soho. They're continuing this Ty Conti Ruby Soho story because Ty gets the win here.
Yeah. She got it with the what's her move?
Ty KO.
The Ty KO, same thing that broke Ruby's nose.
Yeah. So let's go back a little bit. So Willow hits Anna with a suplex on the floor in the ring. Ty and Ruby are trading strikes. They both hit headbutts on each other. The Ruby falls on Ty for a cover. Ty kicks out. And then Anna throws Willow into the ring post, gets a chair from under the ring, and she's about to hit Willow with it. But then Aubrey, the ref, grabs it from her. Mm-hmm. And so that distraction of all that going on allows Ty to get her own chair. She throws it at Ruby. Ruby catches it. Ty hits a pump kick, follows with a Ty KO to get the win.
So Teal Jesus here has an interesting point. He says, in Mexico, it's like April Fool's Day today. Are we sure Dragon Lee's not pulling a prank on everyone?
I mean, ESPN reported it. They had a quote from someone at WWE.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's important. Because, I was like, man, WWE usually they're the ones usually to announce this stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So, no, confirmed.
Maggie says that's April 28th.
Oh, okay. So Teal Jesus has his months way off.
So James Kimball, the head of talent strategy and operations, says Dragon Lee is a tremendous talent that immediately add value to the NXT roster.
Wow. That's true. All right. After that, we had a Gun Club interview. They're like, hey, man, we got a reservation in 20 minutes. We're in party mode. And then we're going to address our win over FTR next week. But we're the best. They're like claiming they're the best tag team in the world now.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Maggie now says, I lied. It's December 28th. Teal Jesus is right.
All right. December 28th.
So they got ESPN in on the action then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Then we had a Ricky Starks interview. He says, he's asked how he's feeling. He says, I'm feeling a lot better than Action Andretti, who was a victim of a fireball. So he says, I'm going to do for Action what he can't do for himself and get some revenge. He says, the reason Jericho doesn't like me is because I'm a star that he can't control, that Jericho can't control. And says on January 4th, there's going to be a master class of Ricky Starks kicking Jericho's ass. I have a big mouth and a bad attitude. I'm going to take Jericho down several notches. Why? Because I can.
You know what? So right now on YouTube, this is a good promo. I like him better when he's a bad guy, but this is a good promo. He's a great promo. Right now on YouTube, we've got our Going In Raw Best of 2022. You know what I forgot to put in there? There was like a shockingly large amount. I was like, oh man, I don't know how much stuff we have from this year because like it went by so quick. But man, we had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Forgot to put any reference to car pranks in there. Also, no King of Attitude.
Yeah, I noticed that was missing. Whammy Gate was missing.
Whammy Gate was actually last year.
Really?
Yeah.
I swore that was this year.
It was at the very end of last year.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, no, maybe I don't know. Maybe we probably have enough. Here's the thing: like I feel like I scratched the surface for moments where we're really cracking up.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Deep Purple Gate's in there.
Yeah. I watched it last night.
Yeah. So, anyways,
I watched the To Tell the Truth Zodiac bit. I must have watched that like 5 times when I saw it.
I've never met anybody who has a more accurate Wilhelm scream than you. When you listen to your scream, it sounds like it's like fake. Then we had our main event: Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. Samoa Low, in action.
War Joe.
War Joe. Yeah, I never liked that. Samoa Low. So Wardlow's music hits. No Wardlow. Joe grabs the mic, says, it is I, your one true king of television. Unfortunately, tonight, Wardlow is suffering from stage fright, so he won't be out here right now. He says, I tried to find another opponent. I even tried getting someone from the Broncos, but they've taken enough L's this year. Boo. Everybody's all booing him and stuff. But then Wardlow pulls his own Willis Reed, pushes past security to get to the ring, goes right after Joe, and our match starts, and this is Joe targeting me the whole time.
Yeah, like Wardlow's got a head of steam because he's upset about Joe taking the pipe to his leg. And then he'll get some offense in, then Joe targets the knee. This is more or less the pattern. Down towards the finish, Joe sweeps out Wardlow's leg. He puts Wardlow on the top rope. You think he's going for a muscle buster, but no, he climbs up the second rope himself, but that allows Wardlow to kind of slip off the top rope and hit a powerbomb. He's calling for the powerbomb symphony, but as he's trying to get Joe up, his knee gives out. Joe hits him with a chop block, locks on the clutch. Wardlow passes out. So Joe gets his titles. He's preening to the crowd a little bit. Wardlow starts to come to. I think he shoves the ref, and he gets up and he's pissed. He turns to Joe, and then Joe almost makes a motion like he's going to approach Wardlow, maybe shake his hand.
Commentary says, yeah.
Has Wardlow earned some of Joe's respect? No. Wardlow blasts him with the TNT title, goes and gets a toolbox from under the ring. What he's looking for is not in there, so he throws it aside. Eventually, he finds some scissors.
Ooh.
He gets in the ring, headbutts the ref, goes over to Wardlow, and cuts off his ponytail.
Oh, wow.
So then Darby Allin's music plays, so Joe looks towards the ramp, but Darby sneaks into the ring, hits Joe from behind with the skateboard. So I'm guessing we're going to get Joe versus Darby next week on Dynamite.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that, which is going to be another really, really good match.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Joe's doing awesome work. Awesome work.
Oh, man, this is exactly why you bring in Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
This is exactly why. To main event shows, to just put on phenomenal matches, and to be the best promo in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because that's exactly what he is. Yeah. There are over 300 people watching on the YouTube. Do us a huge favor if you're watching us on the YouTube, live or on demand. Give us that thumbs up.
If we get 200 likes, maybe Paul will call in and we could get to the bottom of this Dragon Lee signing.
Oh, that's a great idea. I think you're right about that. Yeah, if we get to 200 likes, he did confirm earlier. If we get to 200, we're only at 87 right now. I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest with you.
Well, let's get 200 likes, and then we'll get Triple H to call.
Because otherwise, y'all got to wait till Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways.
We got Nick Hook, a member for a month here, says, what up, guys? Hope you had great holidays. What match for the past year would you make sure someone had to see? If there's one match you'd say.
From the past year?
Yeah.
Oh, easy. That's easy. It's Cody Seth at Hell in a Cell.
Not Gunther Sheamus? Not LA Park versus Viano 4?
No, you know why? Because all right, I have to pause on that one maybe. But Seth Cody is such a great illustration of like, oh, they call it fake. But this guy legitimately has a torn pec and he's putting on this performance for entertainment's purpose. Do you get it? You could watch this match. Get it? You know? Yeah, so that would be mine. And thank
Patrick
you,
Oliva
Nick,
has a good answer here in Twitch chat. Sammy versus Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, great idea. Yeah, that's a great one
answer.
too.
We're at 121 likes. Went from like 90 to 121. So we can get to 200. 200 likes.
Man.
We'll get Triple H to call in to talk about this Dragon Lee signing because that's huge.
Holy crap, look at that. Yeah, it's been a while since Triple H has called in. Maybe he'll be in a better mood because it's not the grind of twice a week, or sometimes. Could be 3 times a week. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We're at 123. I don't know. I don't really see it happening. But we can go ahead and answer some questions and see if we can get to that point. If you're on the Twitch, hey, head over to the YouTube. Let me see if it's still, hold on. I might still have the link here. Yeah, there we go. There's the link right there on the Twitch. Head over to the YouTube. Just hit that like button.
I mean, we got 197 people here on the Twitch. 306 on YouTube. It should be no problem getting 200.
Absolutely. The thing about the YouTube, though, is some people come in late. They start from the beginning, and so they're not hearing this until like we're already off the air.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Also, some people might only have one like they dole out a day.
That is actually not. I don't see why anybody.
I'm just saying it's possible. It could be the case.
You know where you can ask a question of us if you can't catch a show live?
Patreon?
Patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Says it right above Larson. Says right there. Patreon. Although there it says Patreon/.com. That is not an actual website.
That won't work if you type that in.
No, it would not. But if you do Patreon.com/Steve and Larson, we have a bunch of great reward tiers there. We've got, let's see here. We've got new patrons. They just scrolled by. So I missed it on the scroll, but you can get your name on the scroll if you become a Patreon. Jen Kim, just today, new patron. Zach Randall, Johnny Stans Luna, Tommy Hayes, Brad Kiefer, all new patrons. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. We're up to 155 likes.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that's like probably as many as we're going to get. Blake Whitehouse says, what's the most boring but likely thing that Tony Khan could do with Jade Cargill while she's still in AEW? Put her in a program with Lil Bow Wow. That's happening right now.
Yeah. Jorge here in Twitch chat asks, I watched Glass Onion today in AEW. Who would make the best and worst detectives?
Best detective would be I feel like who would be what's his face? Jensen. What's his name? Brooks Jensen? Is that his name? Brooks Jensen.
Yeah, he's in NXT. This is in AEW.
Oh, we're looking at AEW?
Yeah.
He seems like kind of a dullard. All right, AEW. Who'd make a terrible detective in AEW? I feel like Samoa Joe would make a great detective.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'd solve that case immediately.
Yeah, I think so.
Who'd make a terrible detective? Well, Kip Sabian.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy, so he's the one being investigated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. No Cell. Why is Parker Boudreaux's reaction to his own moves the same as a toddler with someone playing peekaboo with him? That's totally true. He's shocked at his own moves sometimes. He's like, woo. David Matushek. Since Dynamite's getting a new look next week, which color from the graphics, if necessary, would represent each entrance tunnel? Which color from the graphics? Right now, the graphics are like red, white, and blue, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just blue and red.
Blue and red, yeah. But then like the main AEW is in like white, but it's like it's like what is it called? Extruded.
Yeah.
It's 3D.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody found Maya.
Yes.
They're like, oh, we just had 2D before.
Now we have three dimensions.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you just have it whatever way you want to.
Well, red would be bad and blue
I
would
guess
be
so.
good.
Yeah.
Because like red is like symbolic of hell or something.
Yeah, Justifiable Treason here on YouTube. By the way, we're up to 168 likes on the YouTube, 32 more.
That's a lot.
Justifiable Treason here with the super chat says, when did CM Punk really start to sour for you as far as opinions go? Was it pretty much from the Hangman call out, or were you guys not huge fans of his in the first way? Steve is a longtime fan of Phil Brooks.
You and I stand all over that guy back in like 2010 or whatever. You know, like it was the pipe bomb. It was like, oh man, this guy's really cool. And I remember you and me used to have like debates with Chongo over like who was like better or cooler or whatever, John Cena or CM Punk. We were always big CM Punk fans because if nothing else, the guy had a promo that really came off as genuine, and he'd give people cry face. And legitimately, when he would wrestle, he would like leave everything he had in the ring. You know, he would really do that. My opinion on him. When did it start to sour? I don't know. Probably when he called Hangman Page an empty-headed dumb fuck.
I'm sure it wasn't his call, and as Dax Harwood puts it, it wasn't. I started to sour when he beat Hangman for the title.
Yeah, you're a huge Hangman fan.
I really like Hangman, but I just think in terms of the philosophy of AEW, in a lot of ways, Punk winning the title then at that time ran counter to what the company was kind of about.
I rooted against him in the Kingston feud. I really wanted Kingston to get that first win, and they have like a 3-month thing. Because, you know, when they really started to hammer home, when Kingston really started to bring up like, hey, people backstage don't like you. I had started thinking to myself, is there? And then I saw that Kevin Owens shoot thing about the shirt. And I was like, well, here's number one. Kevin Owens legitimately seems like the most lovable guy. Yeah. Like, he is fucking awesome. He seems like a really good person. And Punk always had that kind of thing about him that it's just like, he's probably a prick, you know? And then you hear the stuff about him and the Colt Cabana stuff, and it's like, he's probably a prick. I don't know the guy. You know, I can't really say that for sure, but you just read things and you hear things, and like everybody, you just form your own opinion. It's just my opinion. I think, my opinion is he's probably a prick, but I enjoy his work. And then, you know, so yeah, I didn't really root for him. And then it was just sort of like, yeah, I liked the Hangman. I was like, yeah, I like Hangman Page. Why are they making Hangman Page act weird? You know, I'm going to destroy you, CM Punk. Why are you saying that? You sound weird.
Yeah.
None of that seemed in character.
No.
Yeah.
E-Dub here says, did Caster rap Jarrett off AEW?
That seemed like their blow-off match, didn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it did.
There's no reason to do a match.
No,
he's already beat
Acclaim
him.
just wanted to squash.
Alex Foster says, AEW and WWE decided to do an interpromotional tag tournament. Who do you want to team up? I say Von Wagner and Wardlow, so they can argue over whose world it is.
Wow.
That's
a good point. It's Wardlow's world, and you're just living in it.
Yeah. Hey, Joe Blow. It's Wardlow's world. It's Von Wagner's world. It's my world. Hey, Michael. I don't know. Seth Rollins and Kenny Omega.
Oh, that'd be good. AJ Styles and Kenny Omega.
Finn
Balor and Kenny Omega.
Oh, Finn Balor. Well, that's a good one. Man, I'm so glad we get this Judgment Day Finn Balor. How fucking cool is that?
It's kind of what we've been asking for 4 years?
Yeah.
Well, he's flexing.
Yeah. I die every time he does that.
Oh, it's so great.
Michael Janis here in YouTube chat says, Hangman, he says, you guys really like Hangman more than CM Punk? I'll be honest with you. It kind of boils down to I kind of feel, I don't know. Look, I just like nice people.
Yeah.
I feel like everything I've seen with Hangman, all the interviews I've seen with him, I'm like, he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
CM Punk, I don't know. He's probably going to block Dax's phone for talking about him. He's just trying to do a podcast.
In 2011, I would probably like CM Punk more.
Right, yeah.
In 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
What I liked back then isn't necessarily my cup of tea now.
Right. I'm just too old for that shit, man. If you seem like a pill to hang out with, I'm not going to want to hang out.
I'm just even talking about from a character perspective, you know? There's aspects of the Hangman character that speak to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
In terms of who he is as a character on television that I can relate to. I can really relate to.
Have you not heard the BetterHelp ads that we do? Right?
I'm basically an anxious millennial podcaster.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Although I'm not really a millennial. I guess I'm on the cusp.
You're like 3 years away. I think I'm the last year of Gen X. Thank God.
Yeah. So for me, that's what it is. It's like I feel like I really relate to the Hangman character in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mike Maxwell here continues, says, true, but still the Punk slander is so out of hand, it's ridiculous. If you're a Punk fan, I feel for you, because I would hate to see that shit too. But I kind of feel like Punk's Hangman slander was out of hand.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways, moving on. Agree to disagree, perhaps. Peter Lewins says, what's more likely in 2023, Goldberg's AEW debut or CM Punk's WWE return?
Second one.
Goldberg's AEW debut. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. CM Punk, he might actually come back to WWE. I could see that as a possibility. Yeah.
Maxwell here says, I've wanted to love Hangman, but Punk legit has that Jordan appeal. Hangman's personality is an emotional wreck.
Yeah, that's compelling to me, though.
Yeah, me too.
That's kind of compelling to me.
Yep.
Steve Klain says, which AEW wrestler could transition to being in movies? So take MJF because he's already done it. Take Samoa Joe out because he's already done voice work anyway.
Hey, man, based on these video packages, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely.
A lot of people are saying Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks wouldn't necessarily be in movies. He'd be making the movies.
Yeah, he's an expert level director.
Man, he's got to do more of those.
I know. I wish he would. I wish they'd get rid of
short films
that cheesy Tron-esque graphic that he's got for his Tron, which is funny that I say it that way, for his video entrance.
Mm-hmm.
They need to have him do like short films every week.
I know. Yeah. They're so good. That last one he did, it's been a while, but the last one he did was so good.
Mm-hmm.
We're only 23 likes away from getting Triple H on the phone here.
Hey, we don't fuck around with that either. If you guys aren't going to do it, then we're not going to do it.
Then Paul's not calling it. So
he's not going to waste our time.
This is last call for likes, pretty much.
Last call, everybody. Last call. Ding, 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 ding. Crane Pool says, do you think Paige will be involved in a storyline with the Elite anytime soon? I hope so. He needs to ditch those dorks in the Dark Order.
Yeah.
I like him.
I mean, they seem like they were teasing something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it will come to fruition once he gets through the story with Mox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, possibly.
Oh, up to 100. Oh, 190. 10 more. 10.
Nah, we ain't going to get there.
You don't think we're going to get there? I have faith.
It's
We're
going to be
8
one
more.
of those things. It's going to be one of those things where I hit the button, I'm like, we're not there? Okay. And then we're done.
Stop stream, and then, we're 2 away.
So, anyways, damn it.
There we go.
All right.
So I'm looking to get some scoops here. That's what I'm excited about tonight.
All right.
Dragon Lee signing. What's the fate of the AAA tag title that he
man,
holds?
Look at you. You're all geeked up for a Triple H call. That's good, man. That's good. All right. Well, I got plenty of paperwork I can do here. I got some Kings tickets
by
right
all
here.
means.
Oh, man. By the way, January 11th, it's a Wednesday. My niece got us Kings tickets, me and her. So, can we do the AEW review on Thursday or something?
That's fine. That's the LA show.
Oh man, wow!
Yeah, that's fine.
I can't bail out on this one.
No, things happen. I understand.
It was like Christmas presents. Such a nice
that's
thing.
cool. Who are they playing?
Houston, worst team in the league.
Oh, W. Light the beam.
Easy
Light it right now.
Like that beam. Oh man! All right, I'm gonna do my paperwork. Get Triple H in here.
All right, get Paul in here.
Let's see if I got this thing right. Hello, this is Paul Levesque. How can I help you? Hello.
Hi, Triple H. How are you?
God damn it. I was having a terrific end of the year. It's been like almost a week since I've had to look at your old leathery face. At least it's not Fat John Cena, though. I'm glad that you guys decided to pull back on that idea of having Fat John Cena show up here, because that's a big... Wait, what does this be underneath me? Samoa Joe, Wardlow to retain TNT Championship. You guys have a ticker on your show now? Like you're fucking
we're upping our
ESPN?
production value.
What the hell is going on? You guys are catapulting into the 20th century. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're trying to keep pace with you, Triple H.
Never going to happen.
So, question. Huge news tonight, right as we were starting the show, about
that's right. FTR
we'll
have dropped the AAA tag titles. They're coming home. They're coming home. Revival's coming home.
Well, I was going to ask about Dragon Lee, who he was one half of the team that beat FTR for those AAA tag champions, and then it was revealed tonight that he is heading to NXT in 3 or 4 days' time.
Wait,
how excited are you to get Dragon Lee in WWE?
We got a dragon coming in. We got an actual dragon. We've got a real dragon, fiery breath, and all that kind of shit in NXT.
It's pretty exciting.
What's Sean do? Sean is crazy. He is doing. Remember that he had that lady come in with the dark cloud over her head.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious. So now they got a dragon. Yeah. That's cool too. I think that's great. Yeah. I don't know anything about this guy. I told HBK carte blanche. You got a blank check. Get all the best talent, and if that means bringing in a legitimate dragon. That I think that's great. I thought they went extinct 65 million years ago because what's that guy? Darth Vader took him out. Kylo Ren. That's who it was. Yeah. You see that?
I mean,
see that shit. That shit looks great. I'm gonna watch that movie 5 times in a row.
Wait, which one?
That the movie with Kylo Ren fighting dinosaurs.
Oh my
God, have you not seen the trailer for that?
I have seen that trailer. Sorry.
It's so metal.
I've been watching a lot of movies lately, and I kind of forgot about that one. Yes, I have seen that trailer.
Oh, man. Forget about Glass Onion. Give me Kylo Ren v. Dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty exciting. So, yes, you got a legitimate dragon, a real dragon.
Who do you think would win in a fight between dinosaur and dragon?
Depends on the dinosaur.
Like T-Rex, king of the dinos.
I would think the dragon, since they could fly, could breathe fire, would probably have the advantage there.
Yeah, you're probably right. What about like a pterodactyl with laser beams?
I would probably give the edge to pterodactyl because it's got the laser beams that could fly. It's got legs too, so it needed to run for some reason. It could.
I should see, HBK should like redo DX there in NXT, but all dragons.
Dragon X.
Yeah. Dragon X, DX, Dragon X. See, look at that. Dude, suck it, dude, fire breath. Break it down. This is my time.
It's great stuff, yeah.
Yeah, this is great stuff. Anyways, was AEW crap tonight or what?
Ding,
ding. The correct answer is yes, it was. Say it with me. Yes. Yes, it was.
I'll say yeah.
That's
to
correct.
asking you about FTR going back to WWE. What are the chances that happens?
1,000,000%. They dropped those AAA tag team championship. They didn't have to. They didn't have to do that. I'll let them do whatever. I'm letting one of those guys continue his podcast.
Let me ask you this.
What?
Now that Dragon Lee's coming to NXT in 3 or 4 days' time,
Yes.
is he going to bring the one of the AAA tag titles with him?
He's the champion right now. It's going to be defended in NXT. Huge scoop. And then
Wow.
he's going to be fighting the new faction, Dragon X. Do suck it, but don't interrupt. Do don't interrupt X. It's my new song.
All right. Well, thank you, Triple H. I know it's late for you. I'm sure
He's
need
already
your
gone.
sleep.
He's already gone. He's gone. Did that go well?
That was great.
You get some scoops?
He's under the impression that Dragon Lee is actually a dragon. Like a dragon. Like Game of Thrones dragon.
Hey,
House
let me
of
ask you
Dragons
something.
dragon. What?
Who do you think would win between like a dragon and like a dinosaur?
In a dinosaur? He asked me that same question. And
What was
do you
your
think I
answer?
said? Well, what do you think I said?
Well, you're a dummy, so probably a dinosaur.
I said depends on the dinosaur.
But a dragon can fly and shoot fire out of its mouth.
Yes, but if it's
There's
a pterodactyl,
no dinosaur
if it's a pterodactyl
with like lasers.
yes,
That's a good
the
point.
pterodactyl could make it a fight.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if actually there are any pterodactyls that had lasers, though.
Well, I mean, dragons aren't real ever. Never been real.
I don't know, man. I've seen Game of Thrones.
Again, that's not a documentary. That's a fictional television program.
I'll have to look into that. I think I saw it on Nat Geo. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We're at 214 likes. Let's keep that going. If you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and do it. Leave a comment below. Tell the world about Going in Raw. We got big things planned for 2023. Basically, it's just this ticker down here.
Oh yeah, that we put all our money, everything, every cent we made in 2022 into that ticker down there. Yes,
That's right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
goodbye. That's all that we had.